Javon, and welcome to tonight's edition of the Regional News. We start off with some news in Jamaica where a 47-year-old taxi operator from Oko Rio, St. Anne, was slashed in his face by a knife-brandishing man because he dared to sneeze as a man walked by. The cabbie, Johnny, who was attacked last Wednesday, said the man was given station bail within minutes of being arrested. The cabbie said that when he reported the matter to the Oko Rio police station, he was very weak and was unable to wait for a receipt. The Jamaican media was told by an officer at the station yesterday that the investigating officer was not at work. Meanwhile, Johnny, while recounting the incident, said that he was standing at a gas station in Oko Rio when a man who was wearing a strong fragrance cologne walked by. According to the taxi operator, the cologne triggered his sinuses, causing him to sneeze. He said that the man brandished a knife and slashed him in his face. He said that since the incident, it has been even more difficult for him to provide for his family. He said that having lost plenty of blood, he is scared to drive, and so he has been forced to take a break from the taxi business. The attack on the taxi driver is yet another in a series of incidents that involve people being abused because they either sneezed or coughed, symptoms associated with the new coronavirus. Last month, a 38-year-old farmer from Betheltown, Westmoreland, said that he was beaten and thrown off a bus after he sneezed multiple times and was accused of carrying the deadly COVID-19. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has been moved to intensive care in hospital after his coronavirus symptoms worsened. A spokesman said he was moved on the advice of his medical team and was receiving excellent care. The Prime Minister, 55, was admitted to a hospital in London with persistent symptoms on Sunday evening. The Queen has been kept informed about Mr. Johnson's health by Number 10, according to Buckingham Palace. BBC political correspondent Chris Mason said the Prime Minister was given oxygen late on Monday afternoon before being taken to the intensive care. However, he has not been put on a ventilator. A Number 10 statement read, and I quote, "The Prime Minister has been under the care of doctors at St. Thomas Hospital in London after being admitted with persistent symptoms of coronavirus." It continued, and I quote, "The PM is receiving excellent care and thanks all NHS staff for their hard work and dedication," end of quote. He added that he and his colleagues were making sure they implemented plans Mr. Johnson had instructed them to deliver as soon as possible. And finally, in Trinidad and Tobago, all restaurants in the island will be closed from Tuesday. This was one of several new restrictions announced by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley as he extended the stay-at-home order to April 30th. And I quote, "We are today closing all restaurants until April 30th, so what I said about arrangement for collecting food at restaurants and so on, please disregard that. We are not permitting food services of any kind until the 30th of April, end of quote," said the Prime Minister. Previously, the government had issued restrictions on dining in at restaurants, allowing for patrons to enjoy curbside pickup or home delivery. The Prime Minister also announced that effective immediately, all members of the public are to wear masks over their mouths and nostrils once outdoors. He said the government would work to distribute masks to the public. Pharmacies are to be closed to the public by 8 p.m. And that's it for Regional News this evening. Back to you, Javon.